Oh my gosh. Alright. This is like my first time going live on this channel. It looks like there is a slight delay. I wonder how I can pop out the dashboard. This isn't like the whole thing though. It's like a small thing. Ugh. Let me get like situated. I'll go into Tahoma 2D first, and I'll just like give it some time. I'm not sure if anyone's gonna join this because it's pretty late. But if they do, I'm sure it's not going to be right away. I'm curious to see if there's like a way I can like see the dashboard. Maybe if I install YouTube Studio. That might be something to do next time. I'm like, how can I see if people are chatting? I can probably view the live from my phone. Yeah. Alright. So I can see the chat on my phone if you guys want to chat. Let me know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to be starting shortly. Let me go back to Tahoma 2D. There is a slight delay, I've noticed though, already. So it might be something with my settings. I'll have to play around with settings. This is kind of like a test run of this. Alright, so I'm going to leave the chat real quick. Let's get this started. Okay, so first things first, if you looked at the title, you can see that I'm animating Helen from Inhabitants, and you're probably like, what is Inhabitants, if you haven't been following us for a while. And Inhabitants is a Web3 manga that blends storytelling with community-driven collaboration. It honors the trailblazers of the Web3 realm by creating a platform where creators and individuals can work together to shape engaging narratives. So basically, you know, there's a lot more to it than that, but like for the sake of time, I wanted to keep things as simple as possible. You can definitely check out the website for more info, and I will add the link to the chat. I just have to like get it real quick. But I also wanted to clear up, I am not like the artist. Like we had a team of artists who create the webtoon, and I'm in charge of like social media and like sharing inhabitants like with I guess like the public, you know, trying to like spread our message, I guess. Um, I get sidetracked easily. I go off on tangents easily. So, sorry for uh, the link to the website. I'll also add the link to Discord because that's where you can, you know, chat with us. More like that's like the easiest place to like reach someone from the team. And I'll be getting started shortly. I just want to add these links to the chat for anyone who, you know, needs them or wants them. This isn't going to be like a super long stream or anything. It's just, I thought it would be fun to kind of like go behind the scenes a little bit and show you guys part of my process for bringing Helen to life. I'm having trouble finding the, oh, I know how I can find it. Trying not to sing. I feel like I sing or whatever when I'm like nervous and such. Why when I need to like find things? I found this so easily earlier and now I can't find it. I'll add it later. I'll add it later whenever I find it. But let me go back. You know, so as you can see from the title, today I will be playing around with pixels, aka making a puppet for animation. Specifically, I'll be working on Helen, the main character from Inhabitants. I already made one puppet in Tahoma 2D using one of the panels from the manga, and I'll show you that one real quick to give you a better idea of what I'm doing. So this isn't it. I'll show you guys real quick. Let's see. I feel like the easiest way to do it would be to close this. I didn't make any changes, so there's no changes to see. Alright, we'll go to Joy Stream and Joy Stream vid. Alright, so here's the first puppet I made for Helen. I'm gonna turn off the meshes so that you can see her easier. And this one was actually quite ambitious for my first puppet because it has a lot of parts. I animated like her eyes, her body. I also like animated feet, her little rabbit here separately. And I'll show you the first like part of that animation real quick.
Hey there, it's Helen. Today we're delving
So like every part that you saw, you know, moving around is like its own little separate piece. And let me show you the view, or the panels. I think it's the panels, the X sheet for this. And this is basically just every piece that went into it. You know, so you have her body and Feats' body together. And then, what is this? This is her mouth. And I used, what is it, auto lip syncing to, you know, create the dub, whatever you want to call it, like to get her mouth to move, basically. I'm having brain farts, but anyway, her eyes were in a separate column as well, and she had several different eye shapes because I wanted to have her blink at times. She's holding her phone. Let me move this out of the way real quick. She has her phone in her hand, so I also have her look down at her phone occasionally, just to make it a bit more realistic. Feats, I also animated Feats a little bit. I'll turn off the sound, otherwise it's gonna sound. I muted the sound. Why is the sound not muted? I wonder if that'll mute it. Okay. So I don't know if you can see it, but as you can see, like his ears move sometimes, his little body moves occasionally, and he blinks. I think at the end he just goes back to sleep or whatever. And that was fun. Where's the X sheet? It was just like really fun bringing, you know, her to life, and like, but it's definitely a challenge as well. Separating out all the different little pieces. I think I had his tail in like a separate column, and his eyes were separate, you know, so that's like all the little pieces that I had to get together for this particular puppet. I'm going with a simpler one this time. So let me close this, and we're going to discard the changes because I don't want to save any of that. And I'm actually working in Photo P right now. It's like a open source version of Photoshop. And that's what I use to edit a lot. And unfortunately, it's going to have like these ads in the side because it's free. That's how they make their money. Oh, I also wanted to clear something up. This is not a tutorial. I am a beginner at animation myself, but I just thought it would be fun to share some behind the scenes of my process. You know, I'm still very much learning, but I'll show you what I have so far of the current puppet. So right now I have her like base started, and as you can see, I'm currently working on getting rid of her eyes, and I'll show you why. So I have several different eye shapes already. Here's her base eye, and as you can see, it just covers up what I already deleted, but I want to delete her eye from the picture so that when I put the other eye shapes there, because I have 2 and 3, I'll show you. And these need to go above so you can see them. I'm animating a blink. That's not the right. There we go. It looks crazy right now. But I'm animating a blink for Helen because, you know, people blink, and that requires there to be different eye shapes at different points. And I feel like the easiest way to animate that without drawing each individual eye is to just, what I did was changed up the eye shape a little bit. So here we have it, here we have the base, right? And then we have them. I'm like getting mixed up. Let me stop. All right. We have the base eyes, right? So then I can switch it out for the slightly less open eyes. Because like when you animate, this is something interesting that I learned while I was learning how to do puppet animation, is that like I thought like a blink was just like a simple like maybe like 3 shapes at the most, right? So like the open eye, then like an in-between eye, like the partially closed eye, and then like, you know, the closed eye. And like it's actually like, to animate a good blink, there's actually like kind of like 5 shapes to make it look more realistic. But I'm going with like 4 because 1, to save on time. 2, it still looks good. That's how I did the last animation as well, and it still turned out realistic in my opinion. Like one thing about, I would say, like the inhabitant styles, is it's a little more simple, which helps when it comes to animation. Let me show you the last one. I did these in the incorrect order, and this is like almost closed, and I have to create the closed one. I had created it and then somehow it got deleted, unfortunately. So right now what I'm gonna work on is just deleting her eyes. And that's why I said I'm like playing around with pixels, because what I'm doing is like filling in these areas where I deleted her eyelashes. That's another thing that I kind of want to like delve into about puppet animation, is like each puppet is going to present different challenges, and this one presents a challenge in that, like in this particular panel, her eyelashes are like over her hair, and so I had to like go in and like delete them out, but then refill back in that area. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it's like a tedious process, but once you get all the pieces, it's like getting all the pieces together first. And like once, okay, it has to be rasterized, and I'm not even in the right, that's why I deleted this, because I'm not in the right layer. I feel like I have to be careful, because I'll do that sometimes where I won't even be working in the correct layer. But it's a tedious process, but once you like get all the pieces together, it's pretty awesome, like seeing the character come to life. And basically all I'm doing, like I said, is just filling in the missing, oh, I didn't mean to do that, the missing pixels. I probably should have done that first. Let me delete that, because all that's going to happen is it's going to get covered up a little bit. I don't typically work live. I thought this, would be a fun little way to get some more content on the channel, because I've been working on threads and like other videos, lately. I haven't had as much time to like post. And one thing about social media is like you have to be somewhat consistent. Like you can go on little breaks and like on hiatus and such, but it's kind of like each time it's almost like you're starting over, a little bit because a lot of the people who may have even been watching your channel might not be watching your channel anymore. Like they might not even be really like, personally I go through phases with social media where like sometimes I'll be on there, you know, all the time, you know, like watching, you know, a bunch of videos every day, and then sometimes I'll be like I don't have time to like be on it, you know, because I need to work. So, and I feel like a lot of people go through phases like that where they may be on it a lot one day and then the next day they're like, okay, I need to like focus on real life. I don't know. But yeah, that's why I said I don't think the stream will be super long, because I'm pretty sure that this is going to get pretty boring to watch soon. But feel free to ask me any questions you'd like about really anything, like as relating to manga, um, what it's like, you know, being part of a team, like a creative team for a manga publisher, what it's like to be a social medium, like anything you want to ask me, feel free. I'll bring up the chat. I don't have it up right now, but I'll bring it back up on my phone. My bad. I was making sure I could see the chat. Should anyone chat? I didn't really expect anyone to come on. I know it's late, and ideally I would definitely want to do this um, earlier in the day next time. It's just like I live under people, and they're pretty active during the day, and I feel like it would be pretty loud. But I don't know. I'll think about it. This was also just like a way to like get some more content without, I don't know how to explain it, but like when you go live, you know, there's typically like it saves a replay of your live. That looks bad. I have to fix that. But it typically creates a replay of your live so that people can watch it afterward, and then you can like download that as well. I'm probably making this worse. Let me pick up a dark color and go back in and fix it. But yeah, I plan to download this live later and possibly like take out little snippets from it and direct people to like, if they want to watch, you know, the full thing, they can watch the full thing. Let me look. Let me see how that looks now. You would think that like another reason why I said I'm playing with pixels is because like you would think that like the tiniest little pixel wouldn't make a difference, but it really does. But yeah, I'm basically just going in sorry, and deleting her eyes. Oop. And filling in areas that need to be filled in. I'll be right back. I need to get some water. I am back. I'm trying not to die. Alright. I should probably save. I haven't saved in a while. And this does not save automatically. Alright. I have a dark color picked up. I'm gonna finish this line. I'm gonna fix that right there. What I was saying, like, you would think that a 1 pixel out of place wouldn't make a difference, but it really does. I mean, obviously it does. So, like, if I were to put, like, a spot of black on the canvas right now, in the middle of her eye, you would definitely be able to see that. And, like, you can see that as well when, like, a pixel's out of place in other places. So it's just like, that's why it's kind of like a tedious, somewhat slow process, you know, because I do have a drawing tablet, and I really need to just like reorganize my desk. I moved recently, and now everything, I don't have as much space as I had before. Actually, I'm gonna pick up, I'm not gonna make the same mistake I made earlier, but I'm gonna finish this so that it's not just hanging there, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna get cut off, and with the other eye shapes you're gonna be able to see that it got cut off. But I don't have as much space, and the drawing tablet takes up a lot of space on my desk. So I don't know. Right now I am literally just using my mouse. Oops. And such. And I'm imagining like how this hair would fall. I might have to go into black as kind of like a sketch. Almost like. Yeah, I think the curve is too much. But it already kind of like is curved, so I'm not going to make this too long because I don't want it to look unnatural. I feel like that's good. I also have to realize that like this little piece that's like going to be here isn't going to be seen a whole lot. This is going in a blink, you know? So like blinks typically last like less than a second. So, you know, it's not like it's really gonna be seen all like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go down to 1 for this. Kind of like put some of that white. I've noticed that like around the edges it's kind of has like this like white border, and you can see it from afar. Well, you can't really see it from afar, but I feel like it's there for a reason. I try to like stick to like what is already there as much as possible because like I said, I'm not the original artist. I'm just, like a member of the team, tasked with sharing, to social media. So, like, I'm trying to preserve what's already there, basically. Like, I'm not trying to make a whole new manga or anything. This particular, I can tell you a little bit about this video that I'm making this puppet for. It's for a platform called Joystream, and we're just going to, in this video I'm going to be using Helen to explain what a DAO is. I'm not going to explain it now because I don't want to, fudge that up, but that's what the video will be about. I feel like that's good. You'll only see that for a split second anyway. So I feel like it's good. I'm gonna start working on this other eye. I actually might try and even out this a little bit. Like, it kind of looks like not very even. That was just my alarm. Let's see. Pick up this. Make this bigger. Oh no, I gotta do it again. Just to like fix this a bit, and then I'm gonna like blur it back out so that it's not so sharp. If that makes any sense. Because you can really see like sharp edges as well. I don't want to blur out too much because then I'll start to get the blush that's on her cheeks. Oop, that is not what I wanted. Alright, so there we go. One eye gone, one eye to go, and I just realized that my mic has been down this entire time. That's great. That's exactly why I wanted to like test this out before I went live, because like I don't go live very often. I do have a gaming channel, like a personal like gaming channel. But it's actually, for me, in my opinion, it's like hard to go live initially because you're pretty much talking to yourself. Like, I can see that people are like joining the chat, not joining the chat, like joining the live, but no one has said anything thus far. And so initially it's like you're talking to yourself, and that can be weird, and kind of daunting, if you will. But it is like going live is a good way to get more content without like killing two birds with one stone, if you will, because on one hand, that doesn't really match. On one hand, I'm working on making another video while making a video, which is pretty awesome. and I'll be able to, like I said, take bits and pieces from this one and like make shorts out of it and all that. I'm not liking that this color is not matching. I'll stick with this. But I may have to like go back in and like create like a gradient or something later. Right now I just want to kind of get this deleted. But basically it's like until you get like a strong audience built, like your live probably isn't gonna be poppin'. And that's something that I've had to just like accept and like just hope, I guess, that one day it will be poppin'. I don't know. Then there's the fact that like I'm also like a pretty shy person, so it's like on one hand it's like I don't necessarily want it to be poppin'. Hold on, I'm gonna mute for a second and I'll come back. All right. You know, my the person over me was like I get lost. walking around a lot. I mean, I think they still are, but I didn't want to leave you guys for too long. Let me bring them back up the chat again. All right. But I'm almost through this other eye. Oh, but my neighbor was walking around as people do sometimes. That doesn't match. All right. Let's zoom out and see how that looks. And I'm gonna soften it up. As you can see, it looks pretty harsh. I think I also should finish this right here and kind of like create a line there. So I'll pick up some black. My throat is like not in a good place. I drank some water, but it did not help that much. Buzz, 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 buzz. Like, technically, I feel like this should have come down more. Let me look at the original picture. Sorry. So sorry, I'm sorry. I guess technically it kind of like comes down more maybe. Let me like put her eye there and see if it really matters. Like if when her eye is open, like if it messes with her base eye. No, so I'm gonna just leave it like that. Alright. Like once again, this is something that you're only gonna see for a split second. Alright, I'm gonna fix this because that's bothering me. That's another reason why this takes so long, because like, I worry about things that I probably shouldn't even be worrying about. Because they're not even gonna be like something that's super visible. But that looks better to me. I feel like this here, this little doodad here, I don't know if I did that or if it like got messed up, but I'm gonna fix it. But I'm gonna end the live at 11. I think I started around 10, so 15 minutes left. Feel free to ask me. I see there's 3 people here. I don't know. Feel free to ask me something if you want to, about manga, about inhabitants, about Helen, whatever you want. Actually, this might, I'm gonna fix it here. So I'm gonna pick up some of this. Excuse me, sorry. It's so improper. It's like, I don't know, like when you're live, it feels like your body, like you lose control of your body, if that makes any sense. It's like all of a sudden now I have to cough, you know, and like burp and do normal human things or whatever, but it just feels like, oh, why now? Like, why can't I be a robot? Alright, so I'm gonna like feather this out just using the blur tool. I might actually extend this a little because I feel like it looks too, oops, blunt, if that makes any sense. I also might fill this in a little bit. But yeah, I mostly work within like pixels, and the changes I make are small, but like once you see them all together, then you'll like understand, you know, why, I guess, why I was being so meticulous. Let's see. I kind of extended that. I'm probably gonna just leave it alone. That's one thing that I would probably say is easier to do with like a drawing tablet, is to like draw points and such. And I probably will bring out my drawing tablet eventually. But I'm still kind of like setting up my office at my new place. Alright, I feathered that out so it shouldn't look as harsh from far away. And I think we're done with at least taking out the eyes. I'm gonna have to like fix the eyes. So let me save her. And then I'll show you what it looks like with her base eyes on. And it looks good. I don't think I need to fix her base eyes at all. Oh, see, there is a little bit there is a little bit of a gap here under her base eye, and I can fix that. But that is the next step, is placing all of her eyes in place and making sure that they look good on her puppet. There's some like missing pixels here as well, so I will, well, not missing pixels, but like, as you can see, it got a little muddied here, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna lock the background just so that I don't accidentally work in it. I think when I lock it, I can't paint on it, yep, because it's locked, and that'll just remind me, you know, not to mess with it. So picking up this, and the layer has to be rasterized before I can work in it, so I'm gonna rasterize it. And I'm basically just blending it in, making sure that it looks good, because like right here this line kind of got messed up, and so I'm gonna fix that. Although if I look on the original, this line isn't necessarily that dark, but it still does just kind of look like a little bit like it got messed up. So I'm gonna fix it. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't use black. I have to remember though that this is not the original panel that I'm trying to recreate. I'm trying to create a puppet. I don't like that. A little too wide. There we go. That's better. I feel like that's better. And I had to also realize that this is going to be seen from quite a distance, because it's, you know, a vertical video. It's for a short. So I think everything else about the eye looks pretty good. But there was a little tiny space over here where it needs to be filled in with a different color. So I'm gonna pick up this color and just, you know, fill in these pixels. I'll keep messing up. What is this on? It's on 2. I may just get in closer, because I keep selecting pixels that I didn't want to select. Okay, let's zoom. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's zoom out. That's what I meant to do. And here is also not the right color. That's better. I still feel like I can just like see it and it's bothering me, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't think anyone else will notice this, but I know it's there and it's bothering me. Let me fill in this right here. Alright. Look at the original. Nope, that's how it looks. Alright. Let me go back. So I'm gonna save her eyes. Just the eyes. I'm gonna export that as a PNG. And this is the base eyes. Alright. I'm gonna close this real quick to make sure everything, oops, is as it needs to be. So I'm gonna open the puppet. Yep, and the puppet is good. As you can see, it also doesn't have a mouth. The mouth shapes are also separate. And what I do is I try to find the mouth shapes I need from panels in the webtoon. And then if I can't find them within panels from the webtoon, then I'll sometimes generate them using AI. Like image to image. I'll put Helen's image in there, and then I'll use in painting to isolate just the mouth area, and then I'll generate mouths in that area to see if I can like get one that is a good shape that also matches the style of the webtoon. Alright. So the next thing I want to do, I'm going to check the base eyes one more time to see if they're lined up. And they are. They look really good. And I'm just going to delete this layer because I don't actually need them there. I'm going to work on the second pair of eyes that are closing a bit. And I'm going to make sure that they're blended in. As you can see, because it's getting lower, I think I should extend this shadow to blend it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lock the background again so I don't work in the wrong layer. And I'm rasterizing this layer so that I can work in it. I'm gonna get up in closer. Closer. What did I just do? Thank God for undo, because I would probably just like not do art if there was an undo. Like if I just had to start over every time I messed up, I would probably just never make art ever. Is that shadow? Yeah, that shadow is up there already. I'm constantly like using this as like a reference and such, just to make sure that everything is cohesive, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I'm gonna leave some of the lightness there, like so, and then I need to get rid of this because this is from her hair being there. So I'll pick up some color from there, and I'm just getting rid of that. Oops. One tip I have if you're making a puppet for animation, or like if you're just doing art in general, is like work in short bursts, if that makes any sense. Like, you know, when you fill in an area, don't fill in the entire area in one go. Like, fill it in slowly so that if you mess up, you can undo, you know, a small step at a time, instead of like undoing a whole large thing that you did and now you have to basically start over. Because I've definitely done that before. where I edited a large area at once, and then I had to end up going back and kind of like starting over. So just keep that in mind. I might get up in there too. Let's see how it looks from afar. It looks pretty good. It's kind of missing. I just realized that it's like missing her eyelashes now, I think. Oh no, she didn't have any extra eyelashes on the side. She had like that one poking out, and I think it's still there. Yeah. So her hair kind of got, if you look closely, you can see that some color from her hair got mixed in there. Yeah, I know, I really like probably do worry like too much about things that I don't even know if anyone else even notices, but I don't know, I just value quality over quantity, if that makes any sense. Like, I would rather spend more time on something, getting it to be just right. And I don't know, like, over time I've heard two different, like, philosophies, like work quickly so that you can get out more content, and to a degree it's better to push quantity over quality when it comes to social media, because like I said, like, in order to like get anywhere you need to be consistent, and like active. So like it's like a balance that you have to figure out for yourself, but I just know, for me personally, when I put up something that I could have made better, and I just settled and I was like, oh, the time, I don't want to spend too much time on this. I don't feel as good about, like, let's say if the video pops off or whatever, then I'm like, oh, I really should have, gone in and made those little small changes, because this video ended up, blowing up or whatever. And now that mistake is there forever. But the beautiful thing about social media is that you can also, edit. Like, if a video does well, you can take that video and make changes to it and repurpose it, like repackage it, if you will. And create new content and like improve those things that you kind of settled on before because you felt like you didn't have enough time. But that is basically all. This is, as you can see, I'm on the second eyes. Once I get the third eye down, then I'll do the closed eye, and then the blink will be ready. But this was just a little bit of a like behind the scenes of my process, as far as puppet animation goes. If you guys like this, definitely let me know. Oop, I was about to do something. About to do something I shouldn't do. But if you guys like this kind of content, leave a comment on the video, like on the replay, and let us know, and I'll come back on live and I'll share more of my process with you guys if that's what you want. But that is all for tonight. I hope you enjoyed my banter, my antics. And have a great night. Bye.